Girls, welcome to TTTV, and we are live for the TTL F1 Season 13 race number 3. Location for race number 3, we will be going to China in the Shanghai International Race Circuit, just located just outside Shanghai in the old marshlands. And you'll be joined with me in the box, which is Steph, coming back for this appearance to help you all out and to give you a great, amazing commentary as always. Obviously, Kieran's not here tonight, which is a shame, obviously due to commitments and still recovering from his leg injury. Hopefully he's still on the mend. Hope you're listening there, Kieran. So, you will have me for tonight, which will be a good surprise for everybody. So then, if you haven't seen round number 2, which was live in Bahrain on Tuesday, please watch back on the channel and watch it from there. Apparently, as been told, it has been an amazing race there. I'm not going to go into any more spills and spoilers, so if you feel free to want to watch it, please track back onto Tuesday stream for the Bahrain round 2. Also, to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to TTTV space F1. You can locate that on the search bar on YouTube, and also hit the bell notification button so you can get all the notifications of not just the TTL F1, also the TTFL, and also P cars and TTL F2. So then, we will go through the drivers and the constructors then as of round number 2 then. So, at the top then, Squeezy still leading the way there with 43 points there. Tied there with Jay in second with also 43. We've got Laronix in third with 25 points. We've got Lambo in fourth with 23. Spike in 5th there with 20 points, Ollie in 6th with 16 points, Sean in 7th with 12 points, Poe in 8th with 10 points, Maze is in 9th with 4 points, TTG_White there in 10th with 2 points, and Esco in there with 1 point, and also Damon B with 12 points there. So that is your drivers' standings there so far as of round number 2. The constructors wise, we got the Mercedes there on top with 63 points there. We've got the McLarens in second with 43. We've got the Ferraris in third with 33 points. We've got Toro Rosso in fourth with 25. Red Bull are in fifth with 16 points. Haas are in sixth with 13 points. The Williams and Renault there joint seventh there with 4 points apiece. We've got the Sabres there in 9th with 1 point, and then the Force Indies yet to score a point in 10th place then. So that is your drivers and constructors there all round up as of round number 2. So, going to Shanghai then. So, started racing there in 2004 then. And it started off originally towards the end of the season. And it's been there for quite a while too, quite recent in, I believe, which is for 2014-2015, when they decided to opt out into the early part of the season instead, to spice it up a little bit more in terms of different weather, climates and changes, and also fit it in with everything else around the world. And obviously where it was being situated near the end of the season to start off with originally, it did have almost title decided there as well back in 2007 when Lewis Hamilton in his rookie season for the McLaren was on the chance of getting his first championship and the first rookie to do so within a year as in the debut season in that year. Fortunately beached it in the gravel on the pit lane entry, which at the point did have a gravel till it got tarmacked over, and fortunately ruled him out of contention of getting the title, which then went to Brazil, which then was won by very own Kimi Raikkonen by just 1 point. Then Hamilton came as a resurgence back in 2008 and claimed the title from then. So that was the little history then of Shanghai. Obviously situated in the marshlands, and also weather conditions can be a bit here and there now and again, depending on obviously the climate and the weather of the day, depending, you can see through the smoke from the clouds. So all fun and games. So obviously the characteristics of the track wise, obviously built by Hermit Tinkle, features some very fast slow corners and also a long massive straight along with flowing corners in between. So obviously like sector 1, sector 2, where it's very aero based, and also stability of the car is vital to have the car on point in every part of the track in that sections, with 2 sectors at least, and also making sure not losing control of the back end. And then obviously going to sector 3, where it's mainly a case of one very long straight on the back straight, which we can see features of overtakes heading down towards the very sharp slow hairpin at the end, until we come back around onto the main straight heading down towards turn 1. So we're obviously just waiting on a few drivers then to get themselves ready to go, getting into the cars, getting themselves prepped up, ready for Shanghai to see what challenges awaits for them. And obviously Maze there just coming in on there with the old check flag as always, saying that he's ready to go racing. So feel free to put it in the comments. Obviously just keep it, family friendly, everything we say. Also for like, very historic Chinese Grand Prix moments and general questions as well to top it off as well. But then that is all totally up to you. Also you can put in like predictions for pole position, for top 3 for the grid, and obviously like top 3 for the race winners. So feel free to put anything in the comments, but do not put anything like swear words or anything other innuendos, if you know what I mean. Obviously we do have like a couple of new drivers, so just gonna have a quick little browse to see if they're in. We have got TTG White, who's just recently joined with the TTL, and also joined the TTG Esports team. So welcome and congratulations to joining the league. Obviously I presume Kieran's already done that on Tuesday, being the debut since Bahrain. Hopefully he can do well for Williams, racing for Williams Martini Racing. I was going to say no longer Martini now these days, as the start of the new season of 2019 comes up, as they've gone change of the sponsors, but still known as Martini in this game in particular. So we've got 14 drivers then at the moment. Obviously I'm presuming just waiting. I think it's just a couple whilst they sort out the updates for the PlayStation. Lovely little delay. I hope it's not too long. Generally shouldn't be, because it's quite a quick update. Yes, mate, I know you like to put the old number 9. I'm not gonna say or any reason why. I'm sure everyone knows what's going on with that. With those who do not know, I am not going to mention it whatsoever on this chat, and it will be banned from saying it. So do not even think about mentioning it up about it in the comments. Otherwise I'll be chasing you. Anyway, we are literally going into qualifying now. We are underway. We have got 15 drivers tonight then racing, so that is a great turnout for everyone tonight. So going into the Chinese Grand Prix then, tyre compounds we have got for you today are the ultra softs, the softs and the mediums. So there ain't no super softs in between the ultras and the softs. It's just going to be literally straight from the ultras to softs. Obviously ultras will be a great qualifying tyre, but I'm not expecting them to be a great turnout all round long distance provider. Obviously soft tyres will be more durable, but also we've also got the mediums as well, the hardest compound going. Neon Rapid there saying, better hope he finishes today. I hope so, buddy. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll be praying for you. So then, going into qualifying then, it is a nice sunny day in Shanghai. And obviously not even a cloud in the sky, so that is amazing. So obviously the drivers there would be quite relieved of not having rain, but when it does rain here in China, it can generally be cause of a major downpour. So then with 15 drivers then, most of them setting up all the tyre compounds and getting themselves ready, getting themselves set up to go out on track. So we've got a couple of drivers there coming out. We've got a Sauber and a Ferrari, although the Sauber will be the first one coming on. So the question is, who is the Sauber driver? I believe that's S. Graham. It is indeed. S. Graham then being the first man out on track then. He will be, as I like to call it, if everyone knows, a little guinea pig tour guide around China. Also racing for Sauber then. New debut of the season for him. Obviously coming in as like reserve, I believe, last season, but claimed a seat this season round. So he'll be hoping to do Sauber proud, powered by Ferrari. So, and also we've got other drivers up there as well. We've also got Squeezy up there, along with Rapid, Polaronex, Susie, and Ollie as well. So quite a fair few drivers going out. Obviously a couple of them are opting to go on different type of tyre compounds. Rapid decided to go out on a set of softs, which will be a good interesting strategy then, if he's going to just do the run on the softs. Maybe switch to ultras later on, maybe. And also Maze there obviously lighting up, ready to go out on set of softs. White is going out on set mediums along with Loronix, Jay, Sean and Alan K. So quite a few drivers opted to go for the harder compound going. But still though, we are going to go on board though with S. Graham though. The DRS active heading down towards turn 1. Now it's very crucial to get turn 1 and turn 2 right here, because you can easily understeer. And that is, looks like it's not promising there for S. Graham there, as he's trying to keep him tight, heading around towards turn 2. Car underneath wants to get away. Now heading around turn 3, not being close to the apex there. You don't have to exactly touch the apex. Go around the kick of 4 then. Heading up towards the turn 5. Getting crucial there, getting 100 metre board there. Heading around turn 5, not close to apex there. You don't really have to be close there, but keep reasonably close as much as possible. Go through the flows of 6 and 7 here. Making sure you can go flat out through these two parts. Well, the second part here you can't, but again, keeping it under control, you'll be able to get grip. And they go around turn 8 and turn 9, two very quick left-handers. And let's go, and they're nearly losing the back end. They go through that section, not very stable, heading up towards the old turn 10. Again, slow entries into turn 10 and 11. Again, car trying to get away from it, heading around turn 12 and turn 13. And now the long straight here. This is a crucial point. You can just literally sit back and relax, but again, got to be careful though, because the hairpin at the end, which is turn 14, you want to brake back now. Let's get around turn 14, because it's very sharp on the brakes here. Again, keeping it well under control there so far from us, going around that section. And up towards turn 15. Quick left-hander here. Easy to go wide and validate your lap time, but S. Graham didn't. Heading up towards the line then. And it's a 1:33.3 then for S. Graham there, so that is the benchmarks there to beat for sure. And then obviously you've got Rapid then in the next car, I believe, to come over the line. I believe, no, that might be Jay being the first man. And he just starting off his fly, so we go switch to Rapid quickly. And Rapid there goes on top with a 1:32.5 here on a set of soft tyres. And Leroy's there go into P2 as well with a 1:32.6 on the set of mediums. And that's not a bad lap time there, considering being on the mediums there, being the slowest compound going. But very good lap time there from Leroy's. Sure, there's plenty more pace underneath the car on a soft set of boots we've opted to use. Ollie, meanwhile, comes over the line with a 1:34.6 then. Not a bad lap time. Nearly almost got collected there by the Force India, but I think the Force India driver aware that he was coming down and stopped just before entry to that corner, which is the crucial point, especially in race conditions. That's another feature to keep an eye out for. Oh, and Ollie then goes off for a spin and he's out of qualifying. Ollie then, just before the switch over to a different camera view, decided to drop it on the end exit of turn 4. So Ollie then, with the only one lap time set with a 1:34.6, not exactly being competitive in his own mind in that one, but dropped it on the exit there and decided to bail out of qualifying then. So Ollie more likely potentially start at the back of the grid. Meanwhile, Alan K comes over the line with 136.3. So Alan there just literally getting the feel for soft tyres. Meanwhile though, White has done a 132.6 then on the set of mediums there. Almost identical lap times then to Laronix. But meanwhile though, Jay goes even the quickest off them all on the set of mediums with a 131.9, the first man to go into the 131. So Jay then laying down the benchmarks there completely. Meanwhile though, Laronix does go a bit quicker than his last lap and goes to 132.2. So lap times are starting to come through very nicely. Meanwhile though, Lambo is out there getting himself prepped up in his Ferrari, getting his car in checked. And I think he might be on a flyer. I believe he is at the moment. We'll go on board with him anyway. End down the main straight here. Exceeding well over 200 miles an hour. Watching out for those braking points. Crucial to get done before the 100 metre mark. Otherwise you'll be going wide off the exit there. But Gipsy well on the control there, going to the second to last corner, and he decided to go into the pits, so Lambo decided to not to use that lap. So then only 8 drivers so far set lap time, well no sorry, 7 drivers so far. Obviously one retirement there would be Ollie, due to dropping it on the exit of 10-4. So hopefully Ollie will be getting himself prepped up for the race. Meanwhile though, most of the drivers are out there. Uzi's up there on an out lap at the moment on the set of Ultra Softs. Maybe doing 1 or potential 2 runs. We'll see what he'll do though, but he's just getting himself prepped up, ready. Hoping not bending up his Ultras too much though, because they can easily bend up quickly around this track, because this track is very, very harsh on terms of tyre wear. You have more right hand corners than it is to the left. It is a clockwise circuit, so drivers will have to be mindful when it comes into race conditions on not to be bending out your front left particularly. But then also it also factors onto your rear tyres as well, depending on setup of course as well. Meanwhile though, Alan K goes a little bit quicker this time, goes to 134.4, jumps Ollie, so Alan K is ahead of Ollie, who has retired due to losing his car, but still keeping him well in check. Meanwhile though, championship leader at the moment, Squeezy, sets a 131.9 then on the set of mediums, goes 2 tenths quick, 200ths of a second quicker than Jay, so the old tussle between the Mercedes and the McLaren, so likely they're going to be starting hotting up within the next couple of races, to say the least. Normally I like to class the eyes of the start of the championship battles from about race 5 onwards, and obviously Squeezy still laying down the benchmark that Mercedes will be the dominant threat, and obviously Jay still opening it up as the McLaren resurgence to get themselves up on top. Meanwhile though, Sean Doe goes into P7 with a 133.6 on the set of mediums, so not bad there for the Haas driver. Again, you'll be hoping to score a good amount of points to help Haas get up the constructors, so fingers crossed there, Sean, you'll get some points today. Obviously quite a few drivers yet to set lap time, so quite a few. Obviously Izzy's coming himself out of that with a 132.5 down the set of Ultra Softs. Not bad lap time there for the Toro Rosso driver. Meanwhile though, drivers yet to set lap time is Maze, Lambo, Poe, Light and Spike. So Squeezy again goes even much quicker with a 131.7. He is definitely laying down the gauntlet for sure, trying to secure pole position. I'll be hoping for his teammate Spike will be up there as well. Potentially be a lockout. Meanwhile though, Rapid goes even quicker. On a set of Ultra Subs with a 1:31.0. Now that is a good lap time there for Rapid. He's definitely put down the pressure now with Force India, hoping and praying to get points today. He has a good chance of doing so. With a pace like that, obviously performance underneath, hopefully fingers crossed, Force India will get their first points of the season. So then obviously with about near 7 minutes left of the session, then Rapid is your man on top with Squeezy in second, Jay in third with Loronix in fourth, Uzi in fifth, White in sixth, Esgrave in seventh, Sean in eighth, and Alan K in ninth with Ollie at the moment in P10, who has retired due to lure of track excursion. Maze, Lambo, Poe and Spike yet to set a lap time. Meanwhile though, Lighty then goes into P10 with a 1:34.2. So on the set of medium tyres there, so Lambo gives himself into the timing figures at least with a bank lap of a 1:32.3 on the set of mediums. So at the moment Lambo lies in P5, and meanwhile there's a Force India trying to get through and past the thorough driver, or in the case of just on outlaps in particular. But keeps out of the way though of the Force India driver. Hopefully he wasn't on a lap or being impeded. Meanwhile though, Spike then on his way to set his lap time, then away he goes on his flyer. We'll go on board with him. So heading down towards turn 1 again. Crucial to just let the car roll a little bit in turn 1, just use the engines to brake heading down into turn 2, touching the apex nicely in turn 3, again keeping fairly close to the corner around the kick of 4, back end trying to escape there on the exit, which is commonly featured there, going around the kick of 5. Again, keeping well under control so far. Now it's into turn 6. A little bit of a lock up there from Spike, but still keeping it fairly going there so far. Heading up towards turn 7 and 8. The fast left-hander. Again, you can go nice and flat out here, keeping the car stable within and around turn 8. You have to go down at least a couple of gears and then into turn 9. Again, keeping it well under control in turn 10. Oh, and Spike then losing the back end, but keeping it well under control. That great car control from Spike now in and up and towards turn 11. Hitting the apex nicely and then turn 12 and into the long right-hander of 13 to open up onto the long straight here, which is over a mile long, which is giving a bit of breathing time just before the hairpin of 14. Gives himself prepped up and ready for your braking points, looking for your reference markers. Here's some braking boards, heading down into 14, heavy braking, down into first gear. Bit of a lock up there, but keeping under control. Back end trying to escape on the exit, but again maintain car control. Into the last corner, which is turn 15. Open up on straight, DRS is active, and over the line he goes, and it is a P2 there for Spike then. So Spike is up into P2 with a 1:31.3. Now obviously Squeezy will be looking for something to probably respond to try and not let his teammate beat him, but Spike not far off from Rapid though to get pole position. Obviously Rapid just going back out there again and see if he can increase his benchmark, but most of the drivers are heading into the pits, getting themselves ready for the final blitz. Meanwhile though, Maze is opting not to take part in qualifying, maybe just eyeing up for the race. So they're just going to have a quick look in the comments quickly before carrying on. Maze showing the symbol of the word bottle. I'm presuming you are aiming at someone there, Maze. I'm not sure here, but I've got a feeling who it might be, but I'm not revealing. So Maze is happy just to send the word of the bottle. So then with Poe yet to set a lap time then. Is he going to be going out, or is he going to be remaining in his garage? Still 3 minutes left of the session at least. Alan Kay then out to set another lap, this time on the set of softs, aiming to hopefully start on the set of softs. So Alan will need a nice good tidy lap here, obviously going through turn 2 and turn 3. It will obviously into keeper 4 again, keeping very nice and under control. so far from Alan. Time to go through turn 5, heading down in towards turn 6. Great camera angle here from driver's eye view level. Always love this little camera angle. And obviously going through turn 7 and 8, see what it looks like from the broadcast cameras. Very nice so far there from Alan, and obviously go through turn 8, again keeping it very well under control there so far. Aiming to get into the top 10, a little bit touch of grass on turn 9, but still pushes on though. Heading up towards turn 11 and 12, quick left and a quick right. In the slow speed corner, but get it right, make sure you get the exit nice and tidy, going around the long turn 13. And then you are on to the long massive straight here, where you can just relax and recover from sector 1 and 2's fast flowing technical corners, until you get the braking points around from 150 metre mark all the way down to the hairpin. Again, keeping slamming on the brakes there fully there from Alan. A little bit of a lock up there, but again gets around the corner nicely though. Heading up towards 10:15, the last corner, and Alan decided not to set a lap time then, so obviously with not enough time left to get back up there, Alan will be have to settle from below, starting from the top 10. So then with 1.5 minutes to go, and obviously Alan there just retiring out of session. Obviously Jay is out there at the moment. It'll be potentially the first man to start off the challenge off pole position shootout then. Obviously back end coming out a little bit crazy then, but again keeping it well under control. Obviously Jay's opting to go and hopefully starting on a set of softs. And he goes pole position then with a 131.0 then. So Jay at the moment is your potential pole sitter. Obviously with just under a minute to go then. All will be interesting. Uzi then meanwhile has retired. I'm presuming just believe that's probably the best he can do for today in terms of qualifying. But meanwhile though, Ronix is starting off his flying now, and he's starting it on a set of softs. So the top 5 then are on the challenge. Obviously don't rule out Lambo though. Lighty meanwhile puts himself up into P5 then with a 131.8. So Lighty looks like he's going to retire from there by the looks of it, which he does. So Lighty then more likely just keeping out of the way and settling in for P5. Meanwhile though, Leronix is going through sector 2 now. Again, it is a quick, fast, medium flowing corners section of the circuit, and very crucial here of aerodynamics wise, and make it work to perfection. Obviously Jay then thinks that 131.0 is good enough, well 028 to be precise. We'll see how it's like with the other drivers behind him. Obviously Leronix though is the first man to be on the charge, and obviously as qualifying's ending now, so the drivers are out there on the flyer. This is all to play for. At the moment though, S. Graham then finishes up in P4 at the moment, so not bad lap time. Meanwhile Sean goes to P7 with a 132.1. So Sean in P7. Meanwhile though, Leronix come round sector 3, just one more corner to go. Where will this put Leronix? Will it take Jay off the top, or get him nearby, at least on the front row? He's coming over the line now, and it's a P3 there for Leronix. So Leronix there goes into P3. The question is, Lambo though in P5, which goes down to P6. So meanwhile though, Wright is on pole at the moment with 130.9. Poe then has to settle for P2. Jay's at the moment P3. Question is, where's Rapid? Rapid takes pole at the moment with a 130.9. So Rapid then is at the moment on pole, but the question is, where is Spike? Spike's coming around the last corner then. So where would this put Spike? And Spike, he takes P1, and he's the first man to go into the 129s. So there's a 129.9. So Spike then, for Mercedes, is on pole at the moment, and he will take P1 as Lighty has just come into the pits then. So Spike then is in P1 with a 129.9. Rapid in P2 with a 130.911. Right there, just 0.02 of a second off P2. But your man though, on pole, will be Spike. So then, Going through the grid then for you all will be Spike on pole with Rapid in P2, White in P3, Poe in P4, Jay in P5, Squeezy in P6, Laronix in P7, Lambo in P8, S-Graham in 9th, Light E in 10th, Sean in 11th, Easy in 12th, Anna K in 13th, Ollie in P14 and Maze there in P15. So that is your grid then for the Chinese Grand Prix. And it looks like we're going to be set for an absolute cracker of a race for sure. The question is though, what is the weather forecast going to be? I am not going to be knowing what the weather forecast is going to be, and I'd rather not. I want to be left as a surprise. It builds that suspense. Ooh, might be a bit of a myth of changeable weather conditions by the looks of it. Looks a bit cloudy. Obviously not a threat of rain though, but it'll be very interesting to see if it does rain throughout the race. And hello there, Recon. Welcome to the channel there. And obviously, Neon Rapid saying I'm not going to be P2 for long. Well, see what happens. Obviously, you're in the top 3 from qualifying. Now, the thing is, how you're going to reflect it into the race, it's not a matter. But anything can happen, especially going into turn 1, which becomes a bit of a bottleneck for turn 2. Well, obviously it is a wider corner around turn 2, but where everyone starts jostling and fighting for positions, it gets a bit bottlenecked. So then, with the formation that all underway, then everyone in the top 10, in the standards of the rules, will have to qualify on the tyres they qualified on, well, the fastest qualified tyre they did. So obviously everyone in the top 10 wise, obviously Spike and Rapid on Ultras, White, Poe, J, Squeezy, Laronix, Lambo are on the softs, and S-Graham there on Ultras, along with Light E on softs. Obviously those are outside the top 10 wise, which will be the likes of Sean, Easy, Alan K, Ollie and Maze. Sean, Alan K and Maze opted to go for softs, whilst Uzi and Ollie then opted to go on a set of mediums then. So then Spike then taking control of the formation lap. Get himself up on pole. He's got Rapid and White behind him. Obviously Spike will be aiming to get a good breakaway here away from the field as much as he can, but obviously Rapid will be following in hot pursuit as well. Meanwhile though, White will be just playing the game of looking after your tyres and see what happens up in the fight between Rapid and Spike. Obviously don't run out Poe though, because Poe will be looking to get himself right up on the podium positions or potential win. Obviously Jay is very quick out there as well. Don't rule him out. You can see him tossing it up for the front as well. Obviously Squeezy will be trying and get up to his teammate as much as he possibly can and try and support and assist to keep the threat off. Obviously Laronix and Lambo are also another dark horses to keep an eye on as well. S-Graham there with a good qualifying for him. He'll be aiming to get good points there for Sauber today. Obviously being the sole driver for Sauber. So he'll be aiming to do as best as he can. Obviously Light E as well, aiming and hoping to pray to get Force India off the points mark and get some points today. Sean will be aiming to get points for Haas as well, being the sole driver for Haas. Obviously you got Uzi, Adike, Ollie and Maze as well. Ollie will be looking for a great performance after poor performance in qualifying mods. So then all the drivers then lining up ready for the Chinese Grand Prix. And what have we got in store? We will find out when they all line up on the grid. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And it's like so, and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. And what's the starts like? The starts like are looking so good there so far. Again, Rapid trying to get on Spike already at the start. Spike trying to hang around the outside of turn 1 of turn 2 as well. But again, keeping it well under control so far. Spike there still on the outside, becomes the inside for turn 3. Looking very tight there so far. Keeping an eye on Jay. Jay's right there as well, watching this all unfolding at the moment. Rapid trying to hang around the outside of turn 4. Has he got the move done on Spike? Yes, he has at the moment, but Spike will not give up though. Is he looking for the move down in turn 5? Yes, he is. Can he keep it stick though? Rapid trying to do the switch back again. Oh, Spike nearly losing it. Gone into Rapid there, but again, luckily not getting away with too much. Again, keeping well under control there. Spike then literally under pressure here already from Rapid. But Spike gets back in control and gets P1 away from Rapid. Obviously, they're Jay and Poe as well. Watching this all unfolding. Spike going on the grass already. That's not a good sign there so far for Spike. But again, Spike gets away with it for now. Meanwhile, there is an overtaking. That is Squeezy. Squeezy trying to overtake on Lambo. Yes, he does. He's got the move covered because Lambo goes a bit deep. So Squeezy then up a place already, up into P6. Come down the main back straight now. We will see everything all unfold in the moment. There is a battle in the background, I believe. Who are trying to figure out who the battle is. In the background, it is involving Lambo and Laronix here. Obviously, Laronix going on the inside, trying to defend from the inside of 10-14. Lambo trying to go round. Again, is going to be touching almost, but again, keeping each other room. And Laronix there just keeps ahead of Lambo for the meantime. Going round 10-15. So over the line it goes. Spike then, Rapid, Jay, Poe, Squeezy, right, Laronix, Lambo, Lighty, Sean, S-Graham, Ollie, Izzy, Mates, and Alan Caden. That is the running order so far as of lap 1 then. Again, the battle's there. Just starting to spew up a little bit. Jay again going for attack on Rapid already. Jay again, they're going a bit deep. Has he left himself too much in position then to lose a place? Not at the moment, but he's right on the back of Rapid. Rapid here trying to do all he can to keep Jay at bay. Because Jay at the moment is on the advantage of a good tyre strategy so far compared to the cars in front here, trying to rapidly build a gap as quick as they possibly can to not get caught up with the soft runners. So at the moment then Jay is on the back trying to chase down Rapid. Meanwhile there is a viewing of a battle going on, but it looks like it's close. Oh, Jay there goes avoid. This has opened an opportunity here to Poe, who's also opened an opportunity here for Squeezy as well. And obviously Poe then trying to go for the move on Jay. Has he got the move done? He's got the inside for the first part, but comes the outside and comes the unlucky line. Going through 12 and 13. So obviously Poe then just has to settle just behind Jay for now. Although this is open an opportunity here for Squeezy here to make a move on Poe. Getting a double toe from Poe and Jay. Whilst they're busy slipstreaming each other. And here we go, Squeezy then going down the inside of Poe. Can he get the move done by 10-14? In the braking zone it goes. Squeezy then gets the move done, but can Poe get the switchback done? Oh, and there's a collision there of Lambo. Lambo there getting caught up in the background there. I'm not sure he got tangled up with, but that is a front wing damage. And Lambo there is out of the race then. So Lambo then is opted to retire from the race. Oh, and that is a Toro Rosso. That's a Toro Rosso there off Uzi then. Uzi then getting collected up by Lambo's retired car there. And that looks like Mage as well coming into the pits as well. All going on the back. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Rapid and Jay are having a tussle of a ding-dong here. And this is also inviting Squeezy and Poe into this as well. Also going into lap 3 now. DRS will be active on this lap. And meanwhile, Jay going down the inside of Rapid. Has got the move done. Rapid still hangs out. Jay making contact again. Squeezy is looking for a move on Jay. Has he got the move done? Yes, he has. Squeezy then is up a place. Opportunity on Jay's mistake then. Jay nearly going into the back of Squeezy. But again, just keeps his front wing in check. Meanwhile, Poe's looking for a move. Going in the inside. A bit of half-hearted late move. But again, not touching front wings there. So Poe then luckily not to lose the front ring. This has also invited Laronix into this battle as well. Meanwhile, all this is going on. Meanwhile, Jay's just gone into the back of Squeezy. Jay now with the front wing damage. Now that's going to hurt him now. Surely for the rest of this lap because it's very heavy downforce. Oh, and that's Poe. Poe is out as well. So the Ferrari boys. This is a race for them to forget. Both Ferrari boys are out of the race. Meanwhile though, whilst it's all unfolding, Squeezy and Rapid going side by side. Squeezy going deep though. Rapid getting to get switched back on Squeezy. He's trying as all as he can, but Squeezy gets the inside for 10-15. But he's going for a switchback move though. He's got DRS helping him down the main straight. Can he get the move done by 10-1? Hopefully not side by side through 10-1 because it is a bit risky, but you've got trust in the driver. They're going for it. A little bit of a contact there, but again, just gets away with it. Squeezy then obviously taking the race lead. Obviously has Spikes pitted. So Squeezy then up into P1, Rapid down into P2. Laronix then obviously in P3, chasing down Rapid. Meanwhile though, there is loads of position changes going on and trying to keep up with the closest battle going at the moment. Obviously, at the moment we have got battle here for P4 at the moment with Lighty, Sean, Ollie as well in this train chasing down White. So obviously White then is just starting to maybe potentially struggle, nearly going into the Lighty nearly going into the back of White, but kept it well out at the moment. Meanwhile though, Laronix is trying to go for a move on Rapid. But, Rapid, they're going a bit deep. Leronic seeks to move, and he gets himself up into P2. Rapid down into P3. Meanwhile, though, White, Lighty then getting caught up there with White then has lost out to not one place, but potential 2 places. And maybe more the case of under threat down this straight. Sean is also in this battle as well with White. There's a drag straight with DRS, who's got the, literally the balls to break very late here. You don't want to be breaking too late, otherwise you'll be going off the track here. Obviously, Sean then side by side at the moment with White. White hanging around the outside. Can he keep it covered for now? Yes, he does. So Sean then just has to settle just for now behind White. Meanwhile, though, Rapid does go into the pits. Sean is up into P3, although under pressure now by Lighty and Ollie. Both got the arrest, but again, keeps it well under control at the moment. Obviously, a couple more cars in the pits. Obviously, Rapid and White as well in the pits. But Sean, at the moment, in P3, doing a good job so far. He's got Lighty and Ollie also behind him, although he is trying to pull away as quick as he can to not get caught up in this battle for sure. And at the moment, this is the closest battle going on track-wise. Battle for P3 involving Sean, Lighty and Ollie. Obviously, it looks like Ollie's just maybe starting just to drop away at the moment from the way of these two. But again, Ollie is on the harder compound tyres going, so he's just nursing, trying to bide his time, let the 2 cars just squabble out on their tyres because they'll be better off quicker than the rate as his. So Sean then will be trying to break away quickly as he possibly can away from Lighty, although Lighty has the arrest, but just a little bit back, but on the straight it shouldn't be too long to catch up unless Sean's defending himself quite heavily. Again, Sean got himself covered on the straight with enough gap just to keep himself going. Ollie, meanwhile, he is trying to chase down Lighty. Again, Lighty is also trying to chase down Sean. This becomes a bit of a domino situation move for Lighty. He'll be damned if he does make a move on Sean and doesn't pull it off, and he'll be damned if he doesn't, if Ollie gets a move past him. But Lighty, though, is keeping up very close here to Sean, although the closer he is, burning as quickly as tyres will be, especially on a track like this. You want to keep the tyres completely in check as much as you possibly can. Meanwhile, though, Spike, though, setting the fastest lap time. Alan Kay then making a mistake, and Spike then gets the move on P2 on Alan Kay then, so Spike then on the charge to get himself back up in front. At the moment, effectively is net race leader, but he is on the charge, and this next car up the road is 12 seconds to this main battle in P3, which involving Sean, Lighty and Ollie. So the longer these 3 will squabble out, the quicker rate that Spike will be on the back of these 3 very soon. Lighty then going off very wide there around turn 9 and 10, but again keeping it under control and not in the walls at least. Obviously, Lighty looking a bit more closer this time round than he was last lap around, but again, it depends on the exit. Obviously, Lighty will have the beneficial of the arrests and keeping in slipstream. Now, Sean will be feeling the pressure. Is Sean going to defend the inside line, or is Lighty going to try and launch a late move down, looking for it, but not at the moment. So Lighty then just getting a bit more closer each lap if he comes around at a slow rate, but he's just wants to get a little bit more closer. He gets his exit right on the exit of turn 13 at least. Obviously, there's Screezy then out in front of Leronix in P2. Obviously, Screezy then getting himself a nice little buffer there so far. So, be looking to build a gap as much as he possibly can to not get caught up in the midfield battle. Meanwhile, though, S. Graham, though, he's on the back of White, although White has made a pit stop, but is on the slower tyre going. S. Graham, though, on the softer compound tyre with a tyre advantage in his favour at the moment. Obviously, White there just pulling away a little bit from Graham, though, so at the moment, just all both minding their own business at the moment. Sean doing very well, though, keeping ahead of Lighty. Lighty doing very well to counter both pressures from attacking the front and also defending from Ollie behind him. Again, this is the closest point of battle on track at the moment. Is Lighty closer this time round? Attempt number 3 to attempt number 4. Lighty looks a bit more closer this time round. Again, it depends on the exit. Looking very close this time round. Maybe like may have a chance into turn 14 if he can get a good toe out of here. Heading down towards turn 14. Is Lighty looking for a move, trying to pull the Sadami to get Sean to move in position on the braking zone, but not at the moment. Sean is very wise on that situation and not letting Lighty pressure him whatsoever. He knows he's there, but he's letting Lighty do a little hard work, and Sean just keeping his tyres in check. Meanwhile, though, Lighty's looking even closer. Is he going to go for a move down in turn 1? Sean going defensive this time round, trying to cover off the threat. But at the moment, Sean maintaining ground. Lighty taking a very wide line into turn 2. Try and get better line and a quick line as much as he possibly can. But at the moment, nothing off it whatsoever. Meanwhile, though, Jay and Rapid, these two are squabbling out, heading down towards turn 1. Jay's got the move this time. Yes, he has. Whereas Rapid, though? Rapid, they're looking to get a move pass back on Jay. Again, they're both on similar tyre life, so Jay, they're going a bit deep. Rapid's taking advantage. Jay got off wide there. That's opened the door there to Rapid, so Jay is off the track and Rapid in up into P8. So Jay then, where's Jay going? Jay is going well off track there. Why is Jay going off track? What's wrong with Jay? He's in the pause menu. Hopefully he gets himself back out on track. And Jay has retired. Jay has decided to retire for the race then, so Jay is the third person in of the night to retire off this race. So then, back onto the battle then, or battle for P3. This time round, Lighty is getting closer again to Sean. Can he pull off the move though and overtake him down into turn 14? Still a little bit too far back in my eyes to go for it. And no, he's going for it. It's a bit of a late lunge. Ooh, almost close there, collecting Sean. Lighty then playing very daredevil there on the brakes. But again, not getting caught up in an incident, so this time though, Lighty looking this time move down to turn 1. This time it's going for it. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Sean seeing it going, giving enough room space. This is opening the door here for Ollie if he can get moved down on the inside of Sean. Not at the moment. So Lighty then is up into P3. Sean down into P4. Ollie still maintains P5, but again, Ollie can still make a move on Sean, knowing that these two have been squabbling. Meanwhile, though, Rapid and Alan K going side by side round turn 2, turn 3. Obviously, Rapid then leaving the room there for Alan to let him get round turn 2 with ease into turn 3. And obviously, Rapid then up into P7, Alan down into P8 then. Obviously, Lighty then will be aiming to try and break away as quick as he possibly can away from Sean. But obviously, Sean will be now having pressure from behind from Ollie this time round. Again, Spike is starting to close up on these pair as well. Obviously, only 6 seconds behind. Sean now will be under pressure then from Ollie, but hopefully within DRS range of Lighty if he got over the detection point correctly. Flying down the main straight, Sean then going defensive, and he has got DRS. So Sean then's got a bit of a lifeline then defending from Ollie then. So Ollie then will just have to settle for now, try and find elsewhere on track to see if he can pull off a move on Sean. But then again, Sean will be trying to chase down quickly and try and put pressure on Lighty. And this is at the moment battle for P3. The more these three keep squabbling, the likes of Spike and Rapid will be chasing up on the back of them, yet the front runners have yet to make a pit stop. So anyone from P5 up to P1 yet to make a pit stop. So Sean then still maintaining a good charge, keeping within a second off Lighty for sure. Trying to put enough pressure on him to make him a mistake. But Ollie then will just be trying to watch the situation, trying to reassess it and see what's going on. Knows how to pull off a good overtake, Ollie, and obviously trying to make men's into qualifying. But obviously Sean though will be trying to get good decent amount of points here for Haas and try and get a good buffer to not get drawn into the midfield later on in the race. Lighty again going off a bit wide on exit off turn 10. Don't want to keep doing that all too many times, it will catch you out eventually. Meanwhile that is Spike in the far background then. So Spike can definitely see these three up ahead and knows they're just up the road. Sean then just within range of Lighty. And within slipstream, Lighty going a bit defensive, thinking that Sean's close enough. But at the moment, Sean's not far enough to go for it. Meanwhile, Ollie's going to go for a move. A little bit of a wholehearted move there, trying to go for the inside of turn 14, but just a little bit too far back. Meanwhile, though, Leronix is into the pits then. So Leronix then will be going on to potentially a set of mediums then for sure. Meanwhile, though, Lighty then goes on P2. Ollie trying to chase down Sean into the move in turn 1. Is he going for the move in turn 1? Again, side by side around turn 2. A little bit close, banging the wheels there, but again keeping each other fair room. We're getting a little bit light contact there, going to turn 3. Sean has the upper hand at the moment for inside for 2 left-handers. And then Sean still maintains position at the moment. Ollie, though, trying to go around the outside of turn 5. Again, switching to turn 6. Can he pull off the Ricardo move? He's going for it. Around turn 6. Sean trying to go for a switch back on traction purchase. Again, still side by side, going around turn 7. And that's where Ollie will take position then of Sean then. So Ollie then up into P3. Sean now down into P4. Obviously, Spike is starting to chase up these 3 very quickly as well. Obviously, Spike pitted a little bit earlier than obviously the cars in front. So then Lighty definitely trying to pull away as quick as he possibly can from Ollie, because Ollie's now overtaking Sean. Now the question is, has Ollie burned up his tyres too much already, battling with these 2? But we'll find out in true pace in these couple of laps average at the moment. But Ollie's starting to close up on Lighty though, so still maintaining good performance. Sean meanwhile is trying to keep up with the 2 cars ahead. Meanwhile though, your race leader at the moment is into the pits, and so Squeezy is into the pits. Obviously going for a set of mediums. Yes, he does, nicely so. So then, obviously, Ollie then takes race lead. Sean into P2. Lighty's also gone into the pits as well then to get his pit stop change. So Ollie then effectively leading the race with Sean in P2, Spike in P3. There is Squeezy. Where's Leronix? So Squeezy then gets himself a perfect pit stop then. Gets himself ahead of Leronix. Now that is crucial there for Squeezy to get out ahead of the Toro Rosso driver. And more crucially, is also ahead of Rapid as well. Meanwhile though, Lighty is having a bit of a mare there. Is obviously getting swapped by position there. Alan Kay then getting caught up in the situation, and is also battling with White. White then taking full advantage of the situation. What's going on? It takes P7. Although Lighty, after making a pit stop already on fresh set mediums, it will take him a little while to get himself going. At least a couple of laps just to get himself well warmed up. Is obviously on the back of White. Obviously Alan Kay down into P9 then. But again, be watching what will be going on ahead of him at least. Meanwhile though, Leronix is onto the back of Squeezy. Obviously Squeezy making a pit stop. Leronix already got lap old tyres already, but nicely warmed up. Line up and move down the main back straight, heading down towards lap turn 14. Obviously Squeezy now will be under pressure. His tyres will be starting to warm up a little bit more. Obviously Squeezy keeping to the main racing line at least. Leronix going for the move down to turn 14, breaking point. He will break first. Leronix does. Giving it well under control, he goes a bit deep. Squeezy's going for the move back on him, heading up towards turn 15. Has Leronix got the move covered for that corner? Yes, he has. Although Squeezy is on the back of him for sure, and with DRS advantage, Leronix is keeping well tight to the left. Obviously, Squeezy wants to go for the left, but he has to go to the right. He obviously has to go to the left. Leronix then taking the inside line for turn 1 and turn 2, which becomes advantage till you get to the point of turn 2, which becomes a disadvantage for turn 3 and 4. Obviously, Squeezy then still side by side with Leronix at the moment. Again, great battle there between these two. And Squeezy then gets P3. Leronix has to settle for P4. But I'm sure this battle will not end yet so far. Obviously, Leronix then will be aiming for a perfect exit. Obviously, Squeezy's also got that perfect exit as well. Trying to bridge the gap as much as he can and trying to keep up with his teammate at least. Lambo has obviously just left the session there, so unfortunate, unlucky day there for Lambo. Meanwhile though, Lighty is on the back of White. So we've got White versus Light. Now that's what I like to say and I like to say. But Lighty is definitely on the back of White here. Obviously Sean there's still just starting to fall away for a little bit. Obviously Lighty on fresher set of boots than White has got on at the moment. both made a pit stop. Difference in terms of tyre life is about 7 laps difference. Heading around towards turn 13 now. Obviously, Lighty nice and close enough to the White. Going for a move, potentially down to turn 14. White keeping to the middle. Got potential for either side. Lighty going for the move down the inside of turn 14. Who's going to brake late? Lighty then keeping it well under control and gets a move there on White then. Squeezy with a 134.2 then as the fastest laps so far of the race. Meanwhile though, the Ronix is definitely keeping the pressure on Squeezy then. Obviously within 0.3 of a second. Meanwhile though, we have got 2 battles to keep an eye out. There's a battle for P3 and a battle for P6 at the moment. Obviously, we'll keep focused at the moment towards the Squeezy Laronix battle, which I think is just starting to little fizzle out just a little bit, but reasonable distance of each other. So they're just maintaining the station at the moment. White though is definitely trying to chase down Light, but at the moment Light is definitely trying to pull away as quick as he can, making advantage of the new fresh set of mediums he's got on board that car. Obviously at the moment there's a bit of a tie between 2 battles to keep an eye out, although the battle for P6 and P7 is the main current focus at the moment due to closest on gap to each other on track. So then we've obviously Laronix then just breaking away, losing touch of Squeezy just a little bit, not much but just a little bit. Obviously White will be trying to close the gap down quickly on Lighty. Meanwhile though, Spike takes effective race lead of the race so far. Squeezy with a 134.1 then. So obviously Spike at the moment then leading the race with his teammate in P2, which is Squeezy, with Laronix in P3. At the moment Ollie's in the pits in P4. Question is, where's Rapid and where is Ollie? Rapid then goes up into P4. Lighty and White as well going through. So Ollie then is down into P7. But then again, keep an eye on Ollie though. He is on a fresher set of boots and a softest compound, softer compound that he was originally on before. So we're going to expect Ollie to make a charge up the field, depending on what's going on out on track wise. Meanwhile though, Light versus White battle still going on as we speak. Lighty trying to pull away from White, but at the moment White's keeping well good distance with him, keeping well within DRS range as well, which will benefit him down the main straight. Just question is, can he keep on up within the corners? Obviously Lighty also chasing down onto the back of Rapid as well. Obviously I'm presuming Rapid will yet to make a stop. I don't know if the Force India boys will be thinking about potential strategic team orders here. I do not know, or after that they're going to let each other battle out. As long as it's not a Paris and knock-on situation, all should be okay. Although Lighty is definitely on the back of his teammate for sure. Obviously I don't know if Rapid's going to pull up a bit of a fight here. He's trying to attempt to make a fight on his teammate, not making it easy for him at least, but he does let Lighty go through though. So Lighty is up into P4, Rapid down to P5. So obviously Lighty then got a bit of a breathing space away from White for sure. But though Rapidly there is a little barrier in the middle for sure. But obviously White will be trying to either move, although Rapid is trying to attempt to go back on his teammate this time. Maybe just trying to psych him. Lighty going a bit wide. Obviously Rapid going side by side. Now this is a Force India duel we want to see. Although you got to be careful, White is also trying to get snuck in there as well, but obviously Ollie as well. So this is effective battle there for P4 at the moment. But the Force India boys trying to battle each other. This is costing them time, is also to the White and Ollie as well. Obviously Ollie on a fresher set of boots, and obviously he will be trying to overtake that Williams and obviously the 2 Force India boys who are busy squabbling over each other of different sets of tyre life. Obviously Lighty then breaking the gap. Rapid then will become practically the buffer, trying to keep Lighty covered. But obviously White is looking for a move on Rapid. Surely we should make good work of him heading into the braking zone. Side by side at the moment. White will have to go around the long way around this time to make it stick. Can he make it stick round turn 13? Yes, he does. Right then with a great move then getting around the outside then. Oh, and that's Rapid then. Rapid then dropped it on the exit of turn 13 and gone well off into the gravel there. That is very unusual there for Rapid to drop it there on the exit. But again, keeps it well under control. Don't know if he's going to retire or not. But at the moment, he is in the pause menu, and I think he just maybe be retiring. Which is a shame, really, because he was doing really well. And yet, that is definitely confirmed that he is definitely retiring from the race then. So, unfortunately, there for Rapid then making the 4th retirement of the night. Meanwhile, though, Spike is into pits for the second and the last time today. So, he's down into P5 then. But keep an eye on him. He is on the soft tyres. So you will expect great pace from him for sure to catch up. So obviously then Spike then crucially getting out ahead of Sean, which is a crucial there for Spike's progress. Meanwhile though, Maze and White then, obviously White then gone into the pits and come back out behind the Renault of Maze. He was having obviously a bit of a quiet race. Obviously the both Renault boys having a quiet race, but both in the points, which is the main thing. So far, the Renault boys are doing well, and this is also helping them into their battles as well in terms of constructors. So, obviously, White then looking to get past the Renault of Maze, although Maze has been up on 14 lap hole mediums. So, again, Maze is doing very well to keep himself consistent. White trying to go around the outside, which comes the inside then of turn 9 and 10. And White then gets the move done on Maze then to get himself up into P7. So White up into P7, Maze into P8. Meanwhile though, Ollie is starting to close in on Lighty once again. This time, no Force India in the way. It's a straight dogfight between these two. Obviously, Ollie is definitely on the case of trying to chase down Lighty. Ollie setting the fastest lap time, 1:34.0. So great lap time there so far from Ollie then. Puts out as the fastest lap of the day. Although Ollie's gone off a bit deep then off round turn 1 then. It touches the grass. Now it's going to cruise in a bit of time there, but luckily still not lost a lot of time. Just probably a case of a couple of attempts, but still keeping on the back of Lighty. Maybe just to get a bit too in distance of the hot air effect of the back of another car. So then obviously Spike will be trying his best to chase down these two at least, battle for the P3 potentially. And this is closest battle out on track. Meanwhile though, Maze is into the pits. So Maze going back out or potentially on another set of softs by the looks of it. Yes he does, so Maze is out back on another set of softs. Meanwhile though, Ollie and Lighty, this time Ollie is much closer than to Lighty. Coming around turn 13, heading down towards the back straight. Obviously Spike there watching what's all unfolding at the moment. Lighty then under huge pressure. I am not getting great camera angles here whatsoever here from these two. So I can't see it. They're still side by side then, heading down towards turn 14. He will break. Very close there between Lighty and Ollie. But again, Lighty then keeping just ahead for now. Although Ollie there with the grippier tyres than Lighty. Trying to get a move from turn 15 to turn 1. Again, DRS is up and then Lighty came in very defensive line here. Spike said 1:33.7 is the fastest lap time. Lighty trying to be defensive. Oh, they both touch and they're both colliding with each other. Obviously, Ollie then is taking a hit on the back of Lighty. So, Ollie then losing out a chunk of time then. Obviously, Spike then taking a full advantage. Meanwhile, though, Ollie gets himself back going. This time, battling this time with Sean once again. So, not where Ollie wanted to be. Obviously, Ollie would be not exactly happy with Lighty then. Or maybe they both have an exchange of words. But Ollie, meanwhile, though, going for the move on Sean this time. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Sean going for a switchback, though. It looks like Sean has got the move back, maybe. Again, it's a deja vu effect of from earlier. But again, Ollie maintains the move once again. So, obviously, Ollie then gets P5, Sean into P6. But again, Sean will not give up though. It's definitely a dog race to the end of for them to see what the positions they can get out of each other. But meanwhile though, Squeezy still leading away from the Ronix, who's 2.2 seconds away from Squeezy. Lighty's the man in third, who's 15.4 seconds away. Spike though is definitely chasing up to the back of Lighty. That will be a podium position battle out towards the end of the race then between them two. Meanwhile though, Ollie then under huge pressure then from Sean. Sean then, is he going for a move? No, he's not. He's going for it. It's a bit half-hearted. Oh, they're making contact there. But again, luckily, not spinning each other out. So that is the main thing. Maybe Sean was a bit too far back and eager to literally try and attempt to move like that. But again, Sean just got to keep his head under control. Don't get caught up in silly rash moves that can cost you the race position for sure. Obviously, Spike then getting close to the under the second mark on Lighty. Sean though, maybe that move was a bit too eager on Ollie. Maybe cost him a bit of time there. Almost dropping down to nearly a second behind. Again though, he is on the durable mediums. Not providing the good grip, but again, durability in the long run. So he's trying to keep Ollie under pressure. But again, easy said and done. Meanwhile though, we've got two battles to keep an eye on. Battle for P9 and a battle for P3. Battle for P9 will be involving Maze and S Graham. Battle for P3 will be Lighty and Spike. Obviously Maze and S Graham battle is a little bit more closer, so we'll go on board with these two. See what's going on. S Graham though still maintaining his own at the moment. Also S Graham is trying to chase down to the back of Alan Kay. But again, keeping reasonably under control. Spike though trying to go for a move on Lighty, but a little bit too far back, but he is definitely closer this time though. And around 10-15, Spike looking very quick on these set new boots. And he's going to attempt to go for a move on Lighty. Can he do it down 10-1? It's going to be close here. Side by side this time round. And then Spike then gets the move up on Lighty, then up into P3 then. So that is Spike definitely on the podium for sure. And he'll be mighty relieved of that. Again, he'll try his best to try and chase down Leronix, but that is a bit too big of a question to go for, or a challenge. Meanwhile though, Mace and S Graham then bound for P9. S Graham going very defensive there, keeping to the right hand side. Maze will have to go the long way round. But again, heading down to the braking zone. S Graham then will be having a tight line. Oh, they make contact! Maze and S Graham then making contact there. Obviously, S Graham didn't realise that Maze was there, maybe not giving enough room. But Maze is coming through the inside of 10-15. And then Maze gets the move then up into P9. Obviously, Maze there weaving his car, definitely in frustration that the move that he was happening down in 10-14 was not acceptable. But I'm sure Maze will be happy just to get past and up into P9 for sure. Next car ahead for him will be his teammate up the road. See, Lighty and Spike then. So I don't know if Spike's made a mistake somewhere on track, and obviously Lighty's closing back on him. But Lighty's going for a move though. He's going to go down the outside. DRS is active. Lighty's got the move covered at the moment. Spike's got the inside line. Again, can Spike cover it? Again, both keeping each other room. A little bit of contact there, but again, both get away with it. Again, no wing damages, so all is fair at the moment. So Spike then up and still maintains P3. Lighty down into P4 at the moment. Obviously, these two are not going to be separated yet to the end of the race for sure. Lighty trying to find ways to pass Spike. Obviously, Spike will be trying his best to defend from Lighty. Although the more these two struggle in, this will invite Ollie into the fray as well in this battle. Obviously, you got S Graham now. He's trying to chase down the move on Maze, but at the moment, it's just a little bit too far back at the moment to try and enforce a move. So he just has to settle at the moment for P10, but it's still in the points, which is the main thing. And obviously, it looks like the field just starting to calm down a little bit towards the end of the race. Normally expect a little bit of a low between the halfway point, but it's still all hammers and tongs going on at the moment. Obviously, Lighty will be trying his best to try and get through on Spike, keeping within DRS range. He has got over the detection point within range, but the thing is, just a little bit way too far back to try and do anything, but you'll help him get closer for sure and keep him within slipstream. Again, Spike will be knowing that Lighty's still behind him, trying to go for a move, but obviously Spike will have the tyre life advantage. Lighty then getting around 10-14 there, almost looked like, in my eyes, looked like he was going to go wide, but again keeping it well under control. So Lighty then will be doing his best to try and keep up with Spike. Again, another section of DRS to help him out, but again, just a little bit too far back to do anything. Meanwhile, though, Maze is closing in on his teammate. The Renault boys will be doing a little battle here soon. Meanwhile, though, Light sets a 1:33.6 then as the fastest lap time then. So, White then showing off his pace and trying to catch up with Sean as quick as he possibly can. What will happen? Meanwhile, though, the battle for the Renaults then. Team superiority. Adam versus Maze. I don't know if they're going to be dueling that out or maintaining multi-21 situation, but Maze is looking for a move on his teammate. Alan knows he's behind him. I don't know if they're going to be playing the team game or just battle it out, but we'll find out. Alan there goes a bit deep. Maybe is he just letting Maze through? No, he's not. He's giving him a sniff of it, but Maze has to be hanging around for dry. Alan still maintains P8, going side by side. And then Maze is going for the move and he's up into P8, so Alan there just accepts defeat that Maze is on the softer, quicker tyre. And obviously Maze is up into P8, Alan down into P9 then. But again, Alan try and keep up as quick as he possibly can to be with Maze. Trying to keep distance away from S. Graham. But still though, Alan will be trying his best to try and see if he can play a little trickery on his teammate, maybe trying to force him into a mistake or something, caught him off guard. But they're both sensible drivers and both great teammates to each other, and they both know how each other's work, so obviously Alan will just have to think something out of the bag at least. Meanwhile though, S. Graham is starting to close up on the Renaults, so obviously the battling with the Renaults going on. Obviously Alan then going into the middle towards the right. S. Graham will be looking for a move, just a little bit too far back. Alan there with a lock up, going a little bit deep. S. Graham, can he get the purchase on the traction? He's trying to get the traction purchase, but a little bit too far back. Well, they're going around 10-15 now though. Alan there will be starting to feel the pressure then off the Sauber, off S. Graham. Gave DRS active, obviously Alan keeping it within the middle, defending a good line there. S. Graham then just has to settle then, just for P10 in the moment, unless he forces Alan into a mistake of some kind. Throw him off guard, but S. Graham will need to find something to get Alan into a mistake. Again though, Alan again with those lockups again, not going to be helping the front tyres whatsoever in this rate. You want to be protecting them, especially at this point in the race. But Alan though still maintaining pace though, and trying to pull away as quick as he can from S. Graham. But S. Graham looking a bit quicker than Alan at this rate. Obviously S. Graham on the soft compounds, Alan is on the mediums, although Alan will have the more advantage in terms of long life than it is with the soft tyres at this rate. But again, with the cars being lighter, especially at the end of the race with lower fuel, tyre wear it becomes less of a factor to worry about. But still though, heading down the exit 10-13, heading down towards 14. And S. Graham there just again a little bit too far back, trying to make a move down to 14. Alan K again with those lockups, giving S. Graham something to sniff about, trying to see if he can get close. But the more the lockups like that is going to cost you more time loss and favouring S. Graham. Meanwhile though, rest of the field though, just especially just like dying down a little bit, just maintaining it the pace wise. So obviously as of lap 25 then Squeezy's your race leader, Laronix in P2 and Spike in P3. That's your top three, and followed by Lighty in P4, Ollie in P5, Sean in P6, White 7, Mazes in 8th, Annika in 9th, Escom in 10th, and Uzi in 11th. Rapid, J, Poe and Lambo are your retirements so far. Obviously lap 26 started off by Squeezy out of lap 28. So far all is good. Just going to quickly read through the comments whilst keeping an eye on what's going on screen. Obviously, Rapid there cheering on for Spike. Obviously, yeah, definitely near Rapid there trying to cheer on from Spike, and obviously saying that Ollie D16 on the collision there. He obviously won't be too happy with that. Obviously, Recon then obviously joining in the debate as well. But yeah, at the moment, as you said though, Rapid Force India on good terms of good points here. Obviously, Lighty being in P4 will help out Force India to a treat. Obviously, Esgrave now trying to close in quickly as much as he possibly can. And that is Uzi in the background as well. So if Alan and Esgrave get into a battle of some sort and it goes prolonged and longer than the lap in a bit, Uzi will be there to pounce. But Alan doing so well so far, trying to keep Esgrave at bay. Oh, and Alan's gone off! Alan's gone off and dropped on the exit of turn 4. Now going to quickly get the car, get around, get in the right direction before Uzi gets through. Uzi sees it, and Uzi's into the points. He might be in a bit at the back of the race for most of this race, but that mistake there from Alan, that's probably cost him dearly. And also at this late point of the race, he will be not truly be happy with that mistake. He'll be literally hitting his steering wheel as we speak. Probably not in the best of moods and probably come up with many colourful languages. But Alan there, making a crucial mistake there at the late point in the race there, potentially cost himself some points today, which were looking promising. Meanwhile though, closing battle there for P4 then, Lighty and Ollie. These two have been battling out fairly throughout the race and chasing each other across all sections. I decided to be now more close to the track. Obviously Ollie just within the exact 1 second of Lighty. Obviously Squeezy, who's also having a quiet race there and just controlling the race out in front really, along with Laronix then. Obviously Spike in P3, so Mercedes boys are doing a good job there, getting the points over their rivals. But Lighty then starting to come under pressure then from Ollie in P5. Obviously Ollie then just maybe a little bit back to get DRS range at the moment, we'll find out. Ollie there getting DRS, so you got within the second before the line point then. Again, this will be blitz to the end in a minute for these two. There's a do or die move potentially happening. Hopefully not down in P14 where it all goes a bit wrong and pear-shaped. Meanwhile though, your effective race leader, who's had a bit of a quiet race then, Squeezy, starts this final lap. We will be on board with him in just a second. But meanwhile though, the battle there for P4 then on the way at the moment. Ollie and Lighty. It is going to be very, very close to the end of the race then. Obviously being the last lap, it's anything goes. But again, making sure you're not picking yourself up any penalties or potential collisions going on. But Ollie then looking very, very close here to Lighty. Looking himself to line up on the straight, depending on the energy resources they got left on there to dispose of. Meanwhile though, Laronix there trying to chase down Squeezy, knowing it's a bit too far late because Squeezy has kept himself at bay, kept himself reasonable, controlling the pace since when his teammate got into the pits. But coming around turn 14 for the last time, heading up towards turn 15 for the very last time. And Squeezy then wins the Chinese Grand Prix in great style then to carry on his surging at the top then. Obviously Laronix then coming into P2. Meanwhile though, there's a battle there for P4 and Ollie's then got the move covered. Lighty going for the move this time. Oh, and they both touch. They both have touch. But Ollie then maintains P4 though. Meanwhile though, Spike comes over the line in P3. But Ollie and Lighty though, they're both still dueling it out. Heading up towards the line. Who's got P4? Is it Ollie or Lighty? It's going to be so close. And Ollie then gets P4 and Lighty has to settle for P5 then. Right now, Sean and White then also dueling out towards the line. He'll get each of these positions. Sean then gets P6, White gets P7 then. Just about. Maze then will be the next car over the line. Just a little bit far back, but still within good distance of points then. But very quiet race for Mays, not been involved in too many incidents, just minding his own business, just pretty much bringing the car home, get the points he needed for Renault to definitely help out their constructors and get themselves up the table. But despite starting for the back, not saying the qualifying lap time, he will come over the line and take P8 there for Renault then. So Mays then takes P8. S Graham there gets a superb race from him. A little bit fall back from his original grid position, but he comes over the line and takes P9 for Sauber. Izzy then takes P10 and Alan then takes P11. But your race winner though of the Chinese Grand Prix will be Squeezy. So then, your top three then. Spike in P3, Laronix in P2, but your race winner is the Mercedes of Squeezy then. Surging his dominance so far at the top, extending the gap that he wanted to do to win race 3, while his rivals around him have flotted. Obviously, what a difference would have been if his rivals were still in the race, but still, he kept his head under control and getting himself up the board. And also with his teammates while getting the points for Mercedes is having a great boost. So then the unofficial of the official results then. So we've got Squeezer then in P1, Laronix in P2, Spike in P3, Ollie P4, Lighty P5, Sean in P6, White in P7, Mays in P8, S Graham in P9, Izzy in P10, and Alan K there in P11. Rapid, J, Po, Lambo are your retirements of today. So, who can I give to as my driver of the day then? Ooh, it's going to be a bit of a tight one. I'm going to give it to Ollie then for his recovery drive as of qualifying. Obviously, his qualifying, he only did run that run and obviously lost control of the car. But despite the setback, he kept his head under control and got himself back up into good, decent points there for Red Bull. So, damage limitation there for Ollie, and we rewarded my driver of the day for that one. But do feel free to put in the comments who you think is your driver of the day. And hopefully we'll get some drivers in for interviews. So we will see who we got going in. We'll have a quick look in the comments to see what is all unfolding, what's going on before I get the interview starting. If you want any questions asked in the interviews, feel free to put it in the comments now and I'll be answering it to the respectful drivers you asked the question for. So obviously at the moment, looks like we all enjoyed it so far, which is all good. That's what we like to see. So then, let's see if I can get in them for interview. Just bear with me as I get everything all sorted. Okie dokie, we will just invited the drivers, see what's going on. I'll also invite in another driver as well to put into the mix to see what's going on. So then, first driver then to coming into my little interview booth then will be Ollie. Ollie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Great to be back here for obviously commentating on this race tonight for sure, and covering for Kieran. So then, with your qualifying then, you did say like one lap, and then next thing is you lost it on the exit of turn 4. What happened there?
Yeah, I had to change my transmission around a little bit because it was too high. Coming out that corner, couldn't get traction down the way I wanted it, so I floored it. Well, not completely floored it. I was semi-safe, and it just went. A bit annoyed about that.
I can imagine it's just like it seems like you're hitting the wall, just thinking, oh, I bet you'll be like literally kicking yourself, like the mistake you didn't want to make on an easy exit, but still like starting at the back of the grid. Obviously, I'm presuming your main purpose of the race is just to get to the finish and see what happens.
Yeah, it's damage limitation, but it's fun working your way through the field, and it's a good lesson trying to overtake in that. But I made a few mistakes along the way, like trying to overtake Lighty in that. I don't know what happened. I think he broke early, so I tried to go around his outside, and then ended bad for me. So I spun, and then what happened with Rapid, I'm sorry for it, but I was trying to get a good run on Rapid. He came across, which I wasn't expecting. I tried to back out and just went south.
Indeed, it's like at the point it's like you, Rapid, and Lighty were having a great battle there. We're lasting for quite a few laps there as well.
Yeah, I was just sitting behind, saving my tyres, without realising that Luronics and Squeezy were pulling away. So bad decision on my part. I should have maybe been more aggressive instead of sitting behind, letting the battle happen.
Indeed,
but my main intention at the start was to drain the battery, so it would be easier to overtake instead of wearing my tyres out and losing even more time.
Indeed, obviously, like with the battle with Lighty and obviously Rapid, there, obviously when you both touch, obviously unfortunately due to the camera angles I couldn't get it exactly what happened, but
is this turn one or the second to last corner?
The corner with your Rapid on turn 13
oh yeah, straight. So pretty much I took a wide line in to get the better line going onto the straight, and as I committed to the line, Rapid came across. Then I tried backing out, but then I saw him dropping back a bit, so I started putting back on the accelerator. Because obviously Rapid had worse tyres than I did, because I was on fresh softs, and the overspeed was too big, and I just wasn't expecting that. And I'm genuinely sorry, that was a genuine accident. And I have footage if you want to report it, but you can see on my angle that I tried backing out of it. But my main intention was to get the best run I could. I was trying to stay close to him, so get the overspeed, maybe to try to double overtake, and yeah.
And then you had like another close battle with Lighty right at the very end, right to literally the brink on the line. Especially coming through like 10-14 going side by side. You look like obviously Lighty was coming back out of the move, and then you obviously try and do a switch back, and obviously Lighty again try and get round for 10-15. Obviously, both giving each other a fair aggressive battle, but reasonably fair battle. But then obviously coming towards the line, were you knowing that Lighty had any penalties?
0.062.
Oh, the hat is tight, but you still just pipe Lighty though. So give himself up into P4. So obviously next race then going into Baku then. What did you think of Baku? Aiming for a good result?
Yeah, well I like Baku, so we're hopefully looking for a good result.
So they predicted any point places, and what place would you say would be your best result then for Baku?
Possibly a podium. I think that's realistic.
Anything can happen around Baku, especially with the walls around your other side.
Yeah. Well, Blizzard back. Well, I'm not sure we will be back with URC or not, but we'll see.
I'll say we'll keep an eye on Blizzard TV's progression of movements if he comes back or not. But thanks for joining us anyway, Ollie. And hopefully, Kieran, we'll see you back in Baku.
Cheers.
Okay, take care. So then the next person then to come into the lobby then will be Rapid. Rapid, how are you?
I peed off, but I'm not going to swear in the stream and anything,
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
It's alright, I'm not going to report it because I'm not one of those kind of people who report it.
No, it's fine, report it. I've got footage, I'll send you anyway.
No, I just meant it's decent, nothing will happen to it anyway, so...
It could go like 5 seconds, but even if it gets 5 seconds, it probably deserve. I was trying to get the switch back on you, and you came across, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to go for a gap there, but it don't matter.
I wasn't even trying to overtake you, I was just trying to tuck behind you.
Yeah, I understand. It's honestly made sound, I'm not that
I was in softs and you were in mediums, so it's a lot of overspeed.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get cracking on. So,
third retirement.
Yeah,
Third
I can say.
goddamn retirement.
I can probably can tell
So,
by the voice, by your voice there, not particularly ideal run of form. Obviously, you did have a amazing qualifying though, literally getting yourself up into I believe P2 you got. Obviously, Spike just
well,
pipped you
yeah.
on quali.
Yeah, by 1,000, I've got to give him that credit there. But, you know, I wasn't expecting to be first and second because you've got Jay, Jack, Paul, Lambo, they're miles too quick for me anyway, so... It was surprising. I was meant to actually qualify on the softs, but I thought let's try an ultras to soft strategy, but it didn't work, and just lost it a few times in the corners and light gained up, and I wanted to battle him for a bit, but then I just let him through, and then Gabriel kind of made a silly move on me as well, but I'm not going to report because it's a bit petty. But other than that, after that, I was just like, let's just get over it. Let's go to the next race, which is apparently Baku. So, yeah, we'll just see how it goes from there. And hopefully, I can score some points this time instead of my teammate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
I know exactly how you feel. It was obviously 3 races on the balances, and obviously not ideal, especially at the start of the season where you could have got potential, good amount of points. But obviously with
yeah.
Baku coming up though, with it being the old natures of the strict circuits, anything can happen. And obviously you give me even good chance of points or even potential race victory. Anything can happen. So obviously going into Baku though, where would you say you predicted to finish? Barring anything
First,
going on.
if everybody else takes each other out, what I want to happen. No, I'm only messing. Probably 8th if I'm lucky. It's lads in here very quick. I'm never going to beat Jack. I'm never going to beat Paul, Lambo, Ollie, or anyone in here because they're just a mini blizzard. But no, see how I go, and if the weather's in us, then I might get a podium. It just depends how good the weather is and that. So we'll just see from there.
Anything can happen, especially even the quickest drivers, and they can drop out. It is easily done. I've seen it in season 12, even season 11, season 10, going back across the seasons. Like when it comes to around Baku or any particular street circuits, even if you're the quickest driver, you can still make mistakes around there. So always keep your hopes up.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Indeed, Rapid. Well, unfortunately, sorry about you lost of your third race retirement, but hopefully race number 4 get some points for you on board for Force India. Hopefully get up with your teammate.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you, very.
Well, good. Thank you for joining us anyway, bud.
Yeah, anytime, mate. Cheers.
Take care.
See ya.
So then, on to the next person in the booth. Then will be Spike. Then Spike, how are you?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Great qualifying performance there, leaving it to the last minute.
Yep. Yeah, it was nice to be on pole by over a second.
Oh, but was it like the as I like to call it, as you're in the Mercedes, the sexy lap, was it?
It was okay. I mean, every lap I did I made a small mistake in one place or another, but yeah, no, it was good enough.
And
obviously the ultras compared to Jay and the other guys, and yeah, I did a lap on the soft and made a substantial error in sector 2, which meant I was 2.5, 3/10 off everyone else on the soft. So I said to myself, well, if I've got enough time when I get back to the pit lane, I'm just going to go for pole, because how many times will I get pole this season? So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it.
Why not? Why not go claim pole on round 3 of season 13? And obviously, starting off at the start, you had Rapid there trying to get up on the inside already, giving you a good battle through within sector 1, sector 2.
Yeah, you got a best start. You got a much better start than I did. Don't know. I had the tyres on point and pulled away, but the rears lit up quite quick. Very easily. So he got a slightly better start, and then trying to give each other respect through the first few corners, and then every time I thought I had the high ground, you just get a better exits and stuff. So finally managed to close the door through the end of Sector 2 for the two left-handers.
Indeed, and obviously they did pick quite early on. I think it was about lap 3, lap 4. Was it a case of just like the ultras just burn up?
Yeah, not temperature-wise, but wear-wise, they don't do more than 4 or 5 laps. So lap 3, rear tyres were 55. So I thought, you know what, let's get in early and make up the time on the soft.
Indeed, and obviously you did make up quite a lot of time, obviously with Rapping, Ollie, and Lighty having a battle there up ahead on the road. You know, keeping your head down, you gradually did catch up with them very quickly. You know, good, decent, steady pace.
Yeah, good pace. The thing that did me over really was I'd done a lap on the softs in quali, so my second set weren't fresh. So I still had good pace. I think it was a tenth slower than was it White who set the fastest lap in the end on much lower fuel and fresher tyres than me. But yeah, I didn't have fresh ones, so I was a little bit handicapped at that point, which just meant I just didn't quite have enough. I had reasonable pace in the third stint, but not as good as I was hoping.
Indeed, and obviously like when you made your second stop, getting out just behind Ollie and Lighty, and obviously they've both been like battling it out. You know, you did make a good overtake there for Lighty to get yourself up into P3. Was that the crucial move to overtake Lighty just to maintain that position?
Yeah, he's posted that he let me through. I did wonder why he didn't cover the inside into T1. I thought he would, but he didn't, because Lighty's normally, you know, he defends to the last. So I was expecting a very stern defence, and he didn't let me through, and I was quite surprised. And then I basically nearly dropped the car through on the next lap through towards right at the end of Sector 2, going into the tight left-hander. I touched the curb and the outside front locked all the way to the apex, and I just went straight on, just about kept it on the track. And then Lighty obviously had a run on me down the next straight, and then I had to battle him into the hairpin, which is slightly frustrating. That cost me probably a couple of seconds there as well. So, but it was, let's say frustrating. It was good. Just frustrating on my side that I made that mistake.
Indeed. But obviously, like, you know, Mercedes having a good run of points so far for the first 3 races of the season. Obviously going into Baku next.
Cool.
So
carry on, sorry.
Obviously like going into obviously Baku next then. Obviously with Mercedes on good form, obviously like your teammate running the race tonight. But you're obviously pleased for Mercedes to get good points.
Yeah, good result for the team. Yeah, I knew before I started the race I probably wasn't going to win because the guys on the soft to medium got too strong a pace. 2 stops not quicker than I was trying to, so unless you're alien. If you're an alien.
Wow.
Then you might be. If I had fresh softs in the last stint, I might have been able to get a little bit closer, but certainly not. Was it 80 seconds? I think I came out. So by the time, as soon as I got past Lighty, I just backed it off and just brought it home to the end.
Indeed. So obviously going into Baku next then. Obviously everyone's favourite street circuit in terms of the long straight wise, but again, full of technical corners.
Singapore's the best.
Yes, we know Singapore's the best. But we got Baku to deal with first. Unfortunately, Singapore's nearly was the end of the season. So where would you look for in terms of position wise you're predicting for the Baku Grand Prix?
Yeah, then that hates Baku. I hate the track. Yeah, the long straight is obviously an opportunity to overtake. I agree with Ollie. I think Singapore's a much better track. We'll see. Obviously, with the update with the tyres, it should be a bit easier to keep them into temperature, which should help keep lap times steady. And again, just having the chance to fight the rest of them at the front. That's all I want really.
Any preference on position you want to finish in, or just a case of just get the points and survive?
Just I mean, keeping consistent, bringing the points home is what I'm trying to do, and well, hopefully, at some point I'll have a couple of tenths I'm missing here and there to actually battle for the win. But obviously today was a case of obviously 2 stops, so if I had the 1 stop, then who knows.
Indeed. Well, good job there, MP3 for today then, Spike, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, mate. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Cheers, bud. Take care and see you soon.
Bye.
So then, with the Chinese Grand Prix then come to a close then, Squeezy then is your race winner for today. Obviously helping himself extending the top of the driver's standing. Obviously Laronix there getting P2 and Spike getting P3 there. Obviously Spike getting P3 is definitely helping the boost in Mercedes morale in terms of getting good points so far. So then, going through all the advertisement then throughout the week then. So as of tomorrow then, we've got the TTFL. Will be live at 8 p.m. Join Andy for that one for tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Do not miss it. Expecting to be an amazing cracker of a race. And I can't remember what track location it is because I'm not in the group chat for the new chat, so that is unfortunate for me, so I can't tell the track location. But if you join Andy anyway for around about 10 to 5 to 8 tomorrow night, you'll be live with Andy, and we'll hopefully be a good one there for tomorrow night for TTFL. And then obviously Saturday, also you can again join with Andy for P Cars. So P Cars 2, again in the class of the Formula C or the GP3 spec cars. So hopefully again join Andy again tomorrow on Saturday as well for that one. I believe the start time is, I think it's like 7 or 8, so it's one of the two. I think it's more likely 8 o'clock, but I was just saying that's a guess. So going into Sunday, we have got TTL F2 then, join Nexus Jack then for 2 races. Obviously 8 p.m. will be the Bahrain Grand Prix, and obviously 8:45 will be the Chinese Grand Prix, obviously mirroring the effect of TTL F1's league layout running order. So I hope you can join Nexus Jack then for that one. And then on Tuesday then, we'll be live in Baku with Mr. Kieran McGinley. Hopefully he'll be back soon and join us with that one. Unless you have me in the books, we'll find out. You never know, might get invited back in again. And obviously on Thursday, as of next week, don't forget the times for Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. And for Thursday, we'll be going into the European flights, starting off with Spain. So, till there, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching tonight's race in China. I have been Steph. It's been an absolute pleasure coming back and doing this in the box for you guys. And also on behalf of Kieran, he'll be saying thank you very much, and probably say thank you very much for me for covering him for him. He owns me one if you're listening there, Kieran. Anyway, take care, guys. See you soon, and look after yourself, and don't forget to tune in and watch us. Bye bye.